At 73, I don't walk as fast as I used to. My knees remind me, my balance argues back, and some days just getting out of the chair feels like a negotiation. But I'll tell you what no one ever said to me in my 50s. Slowing down doesn't mean you're finished. It doesn't mean your life is shrinking. It means it's changing. And if you listen closely, your body is whispering instructions. It's asking you to shift gears, not surrender the wheel. You see, most people take the first signs of slowness as a warning that the good days are behind them. They reduce movement, they pull back, they stop exploring, they sit more, risk less, and the world gets smaller, not because of age, but because of fear. And the worst part? They think this is normal, expected, even responsible. But here's the truth I've learned too late to keep for myself. Your body doesn't stop working at 60, 70, or even 80. It just demands a new kind of attention, a new kind of movement. It asks for intention instead of effort, quality instead of quantity, awareness instead of intensity. And most people miss that message entirely. When I stopped trying to move like I did at 40 and started moving like I was still worth something at 73, everything changed. My mornings didn't begin with stiffness and dread. They began with curiosity. What can I do today? Became a better question than what did I lose? Let me tell you this, walking less doesn't mean life is over. It might mean you're on the verge of rediscovering it. You don't need more speed, you need more connection, more stability, more grace for your joints, more time for your breath, more understanding of how your body works now, not how it used to. Most people never get this far. They mistake decline for destiny. But the people who age well, the ones who still feel alive even as their steps slow down, know this secret. Aging isn't about stopping, it's about adapting. And you can only adapt if you stay awake to your body, your needs, and the possibilities that come after Plan A. So if you've started walking less, that's not a red flag. That's a signal. Your life isn't getting smaller. It's asking to be lived differently. And if you listen, if you shift, you might find that the second half of your life isn't a downhill slope, but a completely new trail, one you never would have found if you kept walking like nothing had changed. You're not done. You're just ready for something better. You wake up and your knees ache, your back feels tight. You reach for something on the floor and your body argues with you. And the first thought that creeps in is, I guess I'm just getting old. But what if that's not the full truth? What if the pain isn't punishment, but a message? The body doesn't speak in words. It speaks in whispers, in tension, in soreness, in balance that feels just a little off. And most of us were never taught how to listen. We were taught to push through, or worse, to stop. Take it easy, they say. Rest more, they tell us. So we sit, we wait, we avoid. And slowly, what was once just a whisper becomes something louder, then permanent, then disabling. Here's what I've learned after decades of ignoring my body, then finally learning to listen. Pain is feedback, not a full stop. Fatigue is a signal, not failure. If you can reframe your discomfort as information, everything changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to tell me? Maybe your joints aren't asking you to stop moving. Maybe they're asking you to move differently. Maybe your fatigue isn't from age, but from a routine that's been stealing your energy instead of giving it back. Maybe your stiffness is a reminder that your body still wants attention, just not the kind it used to need. The truth is, most people over 60 were raised to believe in hustle or halt. Either push yourself hard or pull back completely. But what if there's a third way, a smarter way, movement that's designed for where you are, not where you were? Movement that's gentle, guided, intentional, the kind that restores instead of depletes. You don't need to climb mountains. You need to wake up your muscles again. You don't need to lift like an athlete. You need to stretch like someone who wants to keep walking another 20 years. You don't need to prove anything, but you do need to participate. because the moment you stop moving entirely, you start aging in fast forward. Your body has never abandoned you. Even now, with its creaks and aches and slower mornings, it's still on your side, still adapting, still giving you signals. And the question isn't whether those signals exist. The question is, will you listen? Because once you do, you'll stop seeing pain as the enemy. You'll stop labeling your body as broken, and you'll start partnering with it, working with it, protecting it, rebuilding it, and most importantly, trusting it again. You've only got one body, and it's not done yet. But it needs a different kind of leadership now, less force, more attention, less noise, more listening. And when you finally hear what it's trying to say, you'll move forward, not harder, not faster, but wiser. And that makes all the difference. There was a time when fitness meant pushing your limits. Some of us are running faster, lifting heavier, sweating until your body couldn't give another inch. That time passes. And what no one warns you about is what to do next. Because most people do one of two things. They keep training like they're 30 and get hurt, or they stop moving altogether and begin to shrink. But there's a third path, and it doesn't start with running shoes or gym memberships. It starts with balance. At this age, strength is no longer just about muscles. It's about control, coordination, confidence. You don't need to be able to deadlift your body weight. You need to be able to walk across a room without fearing the floor. You need to trust your footing, get up from a chair without using both hands, and step into the shower without gripping the wall like it's a lifeline. Brute force fades. Balance, when trained, stays. And here's the truth. The fastest way to reclaim energy, safety, and confidence in your body isn't with intensity. It's with intentionality. Chair squats, toe raises, wall presses, even standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. These aren't just exercises, they're insurance policies. They protect your independence more than any treadmill ever will. You don't need long sessions. You need consistency. 5 minutes every morning. A few drills in the kitchen while waiting for coffee. Movements that mimic real life. Twisting, reaching, sitting, standing, stepping sideways. Because falls don't care how strong your biceps are, but they care a whole lot about whether your ankles can stabilize or your hips know how to catch you. Balance is what saves you in a stumble. And for most older adults, balance starts deteriorating long before strength. If you haven't trained it, you've already started losing it. But the good news? It comes back quickly. Especially when you make it a ritual. No fancy equipment, no 45-minute workouts, just a commitment to move wisely, to build the kind of strength that shows up when no one's watching, in the bathroom, on the stairs, in the grocery aisle. This is how you protect your future self. Not by pushing harder, but by preparing smarter. You've got decades ahead, but only if your body can carry you through them safely. Forget the treadmill. It's not about chasing calories anymore. It's about reclaiming confidence. And that starts with balance. You've probably heard about core strength for decades, usually in the context of flat abs or fitness magazines selling the next miracle routine. But once you pass 60, the conversation changes. It has to, because at this stage of life, your core is no longer about appearance. It's about survival. Not dramatic, heroic survival. Everyday, quiet, unnoticed survival. The ability to stand up without rocking. The confidence to walk on uneven ground without wobbling. The strength to carry a bag of groceries without pulling your back. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're what keep you from slipping into the spiral of decline most people don't see coming until it's too late. And at the center of it all, your core. Your core isn't just your stomach, it's your entire trunk, your lower back, your deep abdominal muscles, your obliques, your pelvic floor. And when these muscles weaken, everything gets harder. You walk slower, you slouch more, you lose mobility, and slowly, without even noticing, your world shrinks. That's what no one tells you. When your core weakens, your life gets smaller. The good news? It doesn't take crunches. It doesn't take gym mats. It doesn't even take long. Start with this: seated marches on a chair, gentle twists while holding a pillow, deep belly breathing where you focus on engaging your abdominal wall. These seem small, but they rebuild control where it matters most. Standing tall is not cosmetic, it's functional. It signals to your brain and body that you're still present, that you still belong in this body, that you still command it rather than just inhabit it. Look around at most people your age, the bent backs, the slow gaits, the handrails being gripped a little too tightly. That's not inevitable. That's neglected core strength. And no, it's not about six-packs. That ship sailed and it doesn't matter anymore. But a stable, engaged core? That's what helps you sit up in bed without strain, reach for a cabinet without fear, walk faster, steadier, longer. It's the quiet engine behind everything you still want to do, because strength after 60 isn't loud anymore. It's not flexed in the mirror, it's not proven with reps or runs. It's subtle. It's felt in the absence of pain, in the return of confidence, in the moments when your body says, "I've got this," and you believe it. Your core is that voice. Don't let it go silent. Train it now, not to look good, but to keep living well. It starts small. You twist less when backing out of the driveway. You avoid the bottom shelf at the grocery store. You wince when turning your neck too fast. You tell yourself it's just age. But here's the truth. It's not always age that's stealing your ease. It's tightness, neglect, a body that hasn't been asked to move fully in years. And the longer you go without stretching, the faster you feel old. Most people assume that stiffness is a natural consequence of aging, like wrinkles or gray hair, but stiffness is often a habit. It's the result of not asking your muscles to do what they were built to do. And when muscles stop stretching, they start shortening. Then they pull on joints, mess with your posture, and create pain that feels permanent. But it's not permanent. You just need to stretch the years out of your muscles. This doesn't require yoga classes or complicated routines. It doesn't mean touching your toes like a gymnast. It means 5 minutes a day of reaching, breathing, holding, not for intensity, but for longevity. Start simple. Raise your arms above your head and hold. Twist gently from side to side while standing. Do a few shoulder rolls. Stretch your neck by tilting your head and breathing. Open your chest with your hands behind your back. Stretch your calves against the wall. Hold each one. Breathe. These little rituals are like oil changes for your body. They keep your machine running smoother, longer, with less breakdown. Because the cost of tight muscles isn't just discomfort, it's disconnection. You stop turning your head, so you stop noticing the world around you. You stop reaching fully, so you stop trusting your body. You stop moving freely, so you stop moving altogether. And here's the real danger. Stiffness shrinks your world. It turns once easy tasks into burdens. It makes movement feel unsafe. It chips away at confidence until the safest choice seems to be stillness. But stillness, when it becomes habit, is what accelerates decline. The fix isn't intense. It's intentional. It's a small daily act of kindness to your future self. It's the difference between waking up sore and waking up strong, between walking tall and limping forward, between aging and thriving. Stretching doesn't reverse time, but it makes the time you have feel lighter, looser, kinder. So next time you think about skipping it, remember this. Flexibility isn't a luxury in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. It's a lifeline. And you don't need an hour. You just need to start. 5 minutes every day, because comfort isn't gone. It's just hiding in the muscles you stopped asking to move. Call them back. They're still listening. You wake up groggy and your first instinct is to reach for the coffee. But what if your body wasn't asking for caffeine? What if it was asking for light? Most people don't realize it, but your body has sensors far deeper than your taste buds. It's wired to respond to nature, to sky, to silence, to soil. Oh. And every day you ignore that, something subtle breaks down. The energy you don't have. The focus that's slipping. The mood swings. The poor sleep. They aren't always age. Sometimes they're just a side effect of living too long without touching the outdoors. Because nature doesn't stop being medicine when you turn 60, or 70, or 80. In fact, it becomes more important. Your body is still listening to the temperature, the rhythm of the day, the light that hits your eyes in the morning. Those aren't nice-to-haves. They're survival codes, signals that align your hormones, your digestion, your sleep, your inflammation. Missing them means falling out of sync, slowly but surely. 5 minutes of early morning sun, bare feet on grass, a quiet bench under a tree. These aren't luxuries, they're prescriptions, and they're free. You don't need a gym membership to walk outside, you don't need a personal trainer to breathe deeply in the morning air, and you don't need perfect weather to open a window and remind your body that the world is still turning. Science backs this up. Even brief exposure to natural light resets your circadian rhythm. It helps your brain know when to release cortisol to wake you up and when to release melatonin to help you sleep. It boosts serotonin, the chemical that makes you feel good. It lowers blood pressure, eases stress, and can even reduce chronic pain. And beyond the science, there's the soul. There's something about seeing the sky that reminds you you're still alive. Something about touching the ground that reminds you you're still here. And something about stepping outside, even for a few minutes, that makes your problems feel smaller. Not gone, but not as heavy. Most people over 60 slowly withdraw from the world. They move less, travel less, experience less. But you don't need a plane ticket to reconnect, you just need a doorway. Because when you stay inside too long, your body starts acting like it's already retired from living. Muscles weaken, bones thin, eyes strain, skin dulls. But a few rays of sun, a walk through your garden, a moment on the balcony, they start to bring things back online. Your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, your chest expands, your pace returns. You feel human again. You don't need to climb a mountain, you don't need to hike 5 miles. You just need to remember that the world outside your door was made for you. And you were made to move through it. So tomorrow morning, instead of scrolling, step out. Let the sun hit your face. Let the breeze remind you that life is still happening and that you're still part of it. You're not too old to benefit from nature. In fact, this might be the age you need it most. You don't need to move less, you just need to move differently. That's what no one tells you. The world keeps offering you 2 choices: push through the pain like nothing's changed, or sit down and stop trying. But that's a lie. There's a third option: evolve. The game has changed, so change the strategy. Your body isn't broken, it's communicating. It's asking for more attention, not less action. It's asking for better posture, not more power. It's asking for smarter movement, not faster reps. And if you listen, really listen, you'll realize something powerful. You're not done moving. You're just getting started in a new way. There's no shame in scaling down intensity if you're scaling up consistency. There's no weakness in switching from running to walking, from lifting heavy to body weight strength, from high impact to balance and stretch. That's not quitting, that's adapting, that's surviving, that's thriving. You've spent decades pushing forward. Now is the time to pivot with intention. This isn't about becoming what you were, it's about becoming who you still can be. Too many people think aging is a slow descent, but for those who change how they move, it becomes a second peak. Not the same, but just as meaningful. A peak of awareness, of precision, of control. You learn to listen to your knees, to care for your spine, to nourish your joints, and in return, they carry you longer than you ever thought they could. This isn't the time to give up. It's the time to recommit with better tools, better habits, and better grace. So start where you are. Sit taller today. Take a slower, deeper walk. Stretch your arms like you mean it. Breathe like someone who wants to live a long time. Movement isn't just for the young, it's for the willing. Because strength after 60 isn't measured in weight lifted. It's in stairs climbed without holding the rail. It's in groceries carried without flinching. It's in getting up from a chair without a second thought. That's real power. You're not too old. You're too wise to keep doing it the old way. So move, gently, intentionally, daily. Because every step you take now is one more year you buy yourself later.